Hello and welcome back to another episode of the News You Missed. This is the news show where I recap what happened in the video game news this week and get you caught up and up to date. If you don't want to be out of the loop, make sure to click subscribe and be ready to like and share, because sharing that I exist is all that I ask of you. It's very nice to let other people know that I'm alive and well here doing this news show. Now, let's jump right into the news. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Pokemon getting a Bearcam, but it's for Pokemon. Yeah, you guys know how you can set up cameras in the woods for wildlife, nature, to capture them without them knowing you're there, right? Yeah, well, Pokemon's doing that. It's a 24-hour live stream in a forest in the Galar region so that you can actually see what type of Pokemon are going to appear there, and that's pretty cool. I'm quite sure we're going to see a lot of new Pokemon, but at the same time, I'm sure they're going to throw in a ridiculous surprise too. It's a 24-hour live stream, so it's going to be quite a long time. I can't wait for the Poketubers to go ahead and mirror that stream and act like it's new content, or for them to sort through the stream and find the moment where an actual new Pokemon will appear and then do a video over it. I'm most certainly not going to watch the 24 hours. I'm going to leave it to someone else who has nothing better to do with their time. How about you, ladies and gentlemen? What are you going to do? Will you tune into that 24-hour stream? Let me know in the comments down below. We're going to continue into Pokemon, and we have Pokemon Go news. There's a World Tourism Day Guide, if you guys are interested, discussing the distance of 10,000 kilometers, as well as the other requirements necessary for you to complete this event. There's quite a lot that's required to do here, so if you're really into Pokemon Go, make sure to check out this guide and be ready for that. Also in Pokemon Go news, we have rebalancing of moves for September 2019. So if you missed out on that, or you're not sure, there's a bunch of Pokemon getting different moves. For example, Lowen Sandslash will now get an ice charged move known as Ice Punch. Lowen Ninetales will get Charm. There's many moves that have been added and rebalanced, so you might want to check into that if you're interested in Pokemon Go and you do PvP quite a lot. Dragon Quest XI is out, and they are fawning over it. Everyone, games journalists, people who just play the game, and it brings a lot of JRPG to the Nintendo Switch. But then again, we always knew that this was going to come to the Switch because of Smash Brothers. But here's the thing, the Switch is getting more and more JRPGs, which makes it a compelling and viable competition to the Sony PlayStation. As in Japan, both Nintendo and Sony are about the only ones that offer JRPGs, while Microsoft is just really not even a powerful presence there. But it's always been a competition between Sony and Nintendo, and Sony's not really friendly in terms of them working with Microsoft and Nintendo at all. I mean, they do what they have to do to save face in front of people, but man, they will really go out of their way to keep themselves separate. So the more JRPGs that we actually get onto the Nintendo Switch is a very, very good thing, and Dragon Quest XI is no different. It's a great entry, as well as Ni no Kuni, as mentioned in this article, but there's plenty of JRPGs that are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch, so you might want to check it out if you're interested in those type of games from back in the day. You liked RPGs from back in the day on the Super Nintendo. This is one that you won't want to miss. Ladies and gentlemen, 150 hours went into recreating The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past in Dragon Quest Builders 2, and you can download this if you happen to have Dragon Quest Builders 2, which will allow you to play this map. Now, this is a one-to-one recreation of The Legend of Zelda for the Super Nintendo, that version of the game. This is really, really great. I've watched the trailer, and it really looks 100% similar to it. This guy said it took him a very, 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 very long time to do this, as aforementioned, over 150 hours of work. That's a lot. As you watch the trailer, it will go through and explain a lot of the things that he did here for it. Like I said, I think the best way to enjoy this is actually physically download it yourself and enjoy the map. Though I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to play it just like the Zelda game. Nevertheless, it looks very, very similar to it. So check into it if you happen to have Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's a free map, and it looks really, really nice. Mario Kart Tour is now available on the mobile devices. So if you happen to be looking forward to that, it's there. But unfortunately, it's one of the worst Mario Kart games to date. Not because of the gameplay, but because of the microtransactions that it has, and it forces you to sign in and link your Nintendo account to it. I have been unable to link my Nintendo account to it for whatever reason. I can sign onto the computer. I have my Nintendo account linked to many other games, but for Mario Kart Tour, I can't link it to it. Therefore, I can't play the game. It's just Mario Kart, but with microtransactions added to it. Is that something anybody out there, anyone, asked for? Because I most certainly didn't ask for it myself. Mario Kart Tour is unbearable in the fact that it's more like the gacha scheme that they have going on with a lot of these games, where you have to actually hope that you get the character that you want, or you have to buy the character that you want with these microtransactions that are built into this game. As if like just playing Mario Kart and unlocking these characters naturally would have been something much worse in some way, shape, or form. No, a lot of people would have liked that a lot, and it would have gave them a sense of actually accomplishing something. But no, this is just a microtransaction den with a game that is always online, because you have to have your profile linked. There's no way for you to play without that profile linking you to Mario Kart Tour. And the launch was unsuccessful, having a lot of errors, not allowing you to actually play the game. So while a lot of people are playing it and enjoying it now, it is still one of the worst Mario Kart games to this date. Civilization 6 is coming to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in November, so if you're a big Civ player and you don't have a nice PC, then make sure to check into those versions. There's also a limited edition Death Stranding PS4 Pro bundle releasing on November 8th. Note, I did say Pro, so that's the more upgraded version. It looks nice. It's a white PlayStation with black hands and a lot of ink dribbling off of it, as well as the controller being like the clear see-through yellow. I suppose that would be similar to one of the objects in the world of Death Stranding. I know exactly what it's coming off of, so it looks nice. It matches very well with the thematic that they are going for. There's also Final Fantasy VII's Remake, showing more pictures, more trailer, as they're ramping up production and getting ready to release the game. You're seeing a lot more of it. The classic box itself, the artwork is going to be there, so if you remember Final Fantasy VII on the original PlayStation, the classic artwork is there for this PS4 version. You can check into that. There's also Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 and Jedi Outcast on the Switch and the PlayStation 4 now released, so if you're waiting for a new Star Wars game, you can check into that if you're interested. And Batman Arkham Origins team teases a potential return. So yeah, there's a Twitter. WB Games Montreal teases that they're proud to celebrate Batman's 80th anniversary with the rest of the world during Batman Day. But then there's also two images that flashed at the very same time. One looks very demonic, and a lot of people think that these have to do with the potential for the return of Batman Arkham Asylum or the Arkham series on the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So we'll have to make sure to keep an eye out for that. But any new Batman games, any potential teases for Batman is absolutely great, because the Arkham series is awesome. There's new gameplay and impressions for The Last of Us Part 2, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to check into that. But there's a big debate going on that there's characters in The Last of Us 2 that drum up the most hype ever, and a lot of people who really love The Last of Us are trying to make it seem like these characters are more influential than characters like Banjo-Kazooie or Sans or Joker being revealed in Smash, which is pretty ridiculous. If you look at any Smash reveal and you see the people's reactions from the Smash reveal, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So that kind of happened, and I'm not really sure why the person felt the need to defend the fact that The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the best and most hype-intensive games. Yeah, maybe it's a popular game, but I really don't think it's along the level of what Nintendo has going on right now. Finally, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is going to be launching on the 1st. Please remember that Shadowkeep is going to be releasing October 1st for Halloween. This is where Guardians are going to go right back to the moon and confront Crota's army. Whether or not Crota's alive once again, there's details talking about the new dungeon in the moon, but then there's also going to be a new Garden Salvation raid, which is for the Vex, as well as some PvP new experiences. There's all kinds of details and stuff thrown in here, so if you're interested in that, make sure to check into that, especially as a Destiny 2 player. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be out there with you, Guardians, so I'll see you on the moon. And that'll do it for this episode of the News You Missed. Ladies and gentlemen, I would greatly appreciate you liking and sharing the video. Let other people know what's going on in the video game news world. You can always let people know that I exist, and you can click that subscribe button to stay up to date here with me and never be out of the loop on the news. Now, I've been your host, the Grandmaster Gamer, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.